I'm disappointed, obviously, that they're not abiding by their local health officer, whose purpose it is simply to keep people healthy, keep people safe, not only the kids, but the leadership of that school and others.
Governor Newsom making it clear Immanuel schools in Greeley are defying state orders after deciding to bring their students back for in-person learning this week. Fresno County health officials are now looking to take legal action against Immanuel to shut them down. But on Friday, Immanuel schools opened their doors. Will they continue to defy the county and the governor, and at what price? Let's bring back our panel, Diane Pearce and Henry Perea. So Diane, I'm going to begin with you here because Immanuel is a private school district. Parents pay their kids to attend, but they fall under the state watch list where all schools are closed. Why do you think they're being so defiant, even threatening legal action?
You know, I think that is not unique to Immanuel or to private schools. Obviously, our churches are struggling with the same question of religious freedom and what that exactly means in pandemic times. What is the authority of the government, whether it's county or state, to dictate what these entities do? And I believe that Immanuel schools, basically just like Clovis Unified and other districts that felt that they could open their doors and teach their students in person safely, and that parents could opt to have that for their children or opt not to. I think it's really difficult when you have a private entity that wants to examine and explore that option. The parents were for it, teachers were for it. And so I think it's going to be something that's interesting to see play out legally, and maybe that's really what people are interested in finding out.
Henry, obviously the Fresno County Health Department says they will shut them down by force. If they open the doors on Monday, what does that look like? Are they going to levy fines? I mean, this could be just a PR nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of ongoing discussions between the county and this school. And, you know, having attended Catholic schools for 12 years, so I get the discipline and the structure in that type of environment. But I also remember being taught obedience, you know, so I'm just really surprised that in the time of the pandemic, where we already have 170,000 Americans that are dead because of coronavirus, and Fresno County's numbers are elevating even as we speak, that a school, much less the parents of those kids, would say this is a good idea to send our kids and put them in an environment where they could get sick and then bring home the disease to their parents and grandparents. But we'll see. You know, I hope the discussions continue between the county and Immanuel sees the wisdom of trying to do online teaching.
You know, I want to move on to this. It was a bombshell report this week in the LA Times. They uncovered a portion of the high-speed rail construction of a bridge in Madera County that was botched. A project that was supposed to be finished in 2017, now having to start over. And after a sequence of mistakes is that this happened. Now, Henry, you're a board member for the high-speed rail. If true, first I want you to see if this is true or not. It looks awfully bad. It's a waste of taxpayer money.
Well, I guess what I would say is I was a little surprised at the tone of the LA Times story. I mean, the question is, are there issues with that bridge? Absolutely. You know, there were about 20 tension strands that were found to have been damaged by water. But keep in mind, this was found out as a part of the quality control that you do on any construction project. This was found back in the fall. So the strategy was, how do we fix it? And as we sit today, we're moving forward with plans from engineers that were brought in to design the fix. And we're just waiting for a few more key approvals, one being the BNSF system on our plan to remedy the situation.
But this looks unacceptable, Henry, because I think as taxpayers look at this, they voted for this, and yet we keep hearing promises of it's going to get done for this amount, and then the amount keeps going up, and then now we see faulty construction. People had to give up their homes.
That's a different question, Alexander. I think specifically to this bridge, I mean, do mistakes happen? Yes, they did, but the question is, do you correct them? And I thought it was ironic that in the story, he made reference to a Florida bridge that ended up collapsing and actually injuring or killing people. Okay, we're not talking about a bridge here that we knew we had problems with and we continued building and commissioned an unsafe bridge. No, our goal is to make sure that we build a quality product, and when we find issues, we will fix them. And that's exactly what we're doing. And it's not going to cost the taxpayers a penny more to fix this bridge, because this is the fault of the contractor who was building it. And that firm will be responsible for 100% of the repair for this bridge, that it is safe for the public.
Diane, I want you to respond to that. Good to know that the taxpayer won't have to put any extra money into that. But Diane, does this report uncover maybe a bigger problem down the road?
Absolutely. I think it shows the overarching problem and condition of the project as it stands. I think one of the things I took away from that article, not only was I just pounding my head against my palm every 5 seconds, but it showed the structure of the chain of command of how these decisions are made. And there's 5 entities. And it starts on the ground at the sites with Tudor, Perini, and Parsons, who are the builders and designers of the project. But when they have something, they have to send it to a firm in New York for approval. That firm in New York is overseen by a firm in San Francisco. That firm in San Francisco is overseen by a firm in Canada. And the Canadian firm ultimately responds to our California State Rail Authority. So basically, this is a bureaucratic nightmare that is so top heavy that now we see actual evidence of the project literally crumbling under the weight of the bureaucracy of it.
All right.
So it's
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Henry, I got 30 seconds. I'll let you punctuate it. This is really what you're fighting for.
Yeah, well, like I say, in the perfect world, we'd like to see everything go smooth and on time. And many times it does. But in this case, we have a structure that has some problems. The quality control that we have in place found the issues. We immediately went into correction. It's going to be corrected, and the contractor is going to bear the full cost of fixing it. So we continue to move forward. We know where there are those folks who don't like the project. We get that. But in America, we build. We don't whine or complain. So we move forward.
Henry Perea, Diane Pearce, thank you so much for a great conversation on Sunday Morning Matters. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Up next, capturing the magnitude of the moment, Kamala Harris breaking down some massive political barriers. Our special panel next.